Good afternoon, students. This is your lecturer, Mrs. Urmila Naik. Today, I am going to teach you SP subject, and we are going to start the second lesson, that is sources of corporate finance. In the first lesson, that is introduction to corporate finance, we have studied the meaning, definition and importance of corporate finance. Also, we have studied about fixed capital, working capital and capital structure. In this second lesson, that is sources of corporate finance, we are going to learn about two important sources of corporate finance, that is owned capital and borrowed capital. In the owned capital, we are going to learn about shares, that is equity shares and preference shares and retained earning. In the borrowed capital, we are going to learn about debentures, bonds, acceptance of deposit, loan from bank, financial institutions, trade credit and ADR and GDR. So let us start. Now students, whenever any person wanted to start any business, the first question comes in his mind is about finance. That is, how much fund is required to start the business? How much fund is required to expand the business or modernize the business? And from where they can raise that funds? That means all the questions comes in his mind is about finance. And that's why we can say that finance holds the key to all the business activities. No business activity can be conducted without finance. So students, this whatever finance is needed by business organization is called as capital. And every business organization needs certain amount of capital for its activities. For example, joint stock company is a bigger and modern form of organization, and it requires large amount of capital. So it collects that large amount of capital through different sources. That means the process of collection of that capital from various sources is called as capital formation. So with the help of following chart, let us understand the various sources of finance. Now students, in this chart you can see that there are two basic sources of finance. First is owned capital and second is borrowed capital. Now owned capital means what? The capital which is collected by the company with the help of their owners are called as owned capital. And borrowed capital means when the company is collecting capital from outsider by borrowing money, then that capital is called as borrowed capital. Now this owned capital is again divided into two, that is shares and retained earning. Now again that shares is of two types, that is equity shares and preference shares. Another source of finance is borrowed capital. Company can raise borrowed capital with the help of issuing debentures, accepting public deposit, issuing bonds. They can take loan from banks, financial institutions with the help of ADR and GDR and trade credit. And in this lesson, we are going to learn about all these sources of finance in detail. So let us begin with first, that is owned capital. I have already told you the meaning of owned capital. The capital which is collected by the company with the help of owners is called as owned capital. Now this capital is regarded as a permanent capital. That means what? This capital is not repaid during the lifetime of the company. This capital is repaid only after the winding up of the company, and that's why it is regarded as permanent capital. Now the majority of the owned capital is collected by the company by way of issuing shares. The person who purchases that share is called as shareholder of the company. Now share is the ownership capital of the company, and shareholders have invested their money in the ownership capital of the company, and that's why shareholders are called as owners of the company. The another form of owned capital is retained earning. The another form of owned capital is retained earning. It is also called as plugging back of profit, and it is an internal source of financing. This we can generate after a few years of profitable journey of a company. Now we are going to concentrate on shares. Let us understand the meaning of shares. Share is a small unit of total share capital of the company. Share is a small unit of total share capital of the company. That means when the total share capital of the company is divided into small part of fixed amount, then each that small part of fixed amount is called as share. For example, if company is having total share capital of rupees 1 lakhs, then the company will divide that 1 lakhs rupees into 10 rupees parts. Company will divide that 1 lakhs rupees in 10 rupees parts. Then how much part will be there? That is 10,000. Okay. That means each that small 10 rupees part is called as share. Each that small 10 rupees part is called as share. That means the share is a small unit of capital of a company, and that's why it facilitates the public to subscribe to the capital in a smaller amount. The person who purchases the share is called as shareholder of the company, and a person can purchase any number of shares. Now I have told you that share is in smallest denomination. That means only one share is of rupees only 10, and 10 rupees is not a bigger amount. That's why any person from any caste, any religion, from middle class family, poor family or rich family, they can invest their money in the capital of the company. They can purchase the shares because shares are in smallest denomination. Now let us understand the definition of shares. According to section 2, subsection 84 of the Indian Companies Act 2013, share means a share in the share capital of the company and includes stock. Share means share in the share capital of the company and includes stock. It means share means your part in the share capital of the company and includes stock. Now here stock means what? When the number of fully paid up shares are converted into one fund of equal value, then that fund is called as stock. Now only public limited companies can issue stock, and also only fully paid up shares can be converted into stock. So share means a share in the share capital of the company and includes stock. Now let us understand the features of shares. First feature of share is meaning. Just now I have told you that share is a small unit of total share capital of the company. It is a small unit of total share capital of the company. That means when the total share capital of the company is divided into small part of fixed amount, then each that small part of fixed amount is called as share. Second point is ownership. Whenever any person is purchasing the share, is called as shareholder of the company. And as share is the ownership capital of the company, shareholders are called as the owners of the company. That means the share shows the ownership of the shareholder in the company. Third point is distinctive number. Now distinctive number means what? Different number. Now each share has distinctive number for identification. Each and every share has distinctive number for identification. And that distinctive numbers are mentioned in the share certificate. Now I will show you one share certificate. In that you can see the distinctive number is written, that is from 3,03,917 to 3,03,966. That means this person has purchased 50 shares and their distinctive number is from 3,03,917 to 3,03,966. That means these are the different numbers given to each and every share. That means if this person wanted to sell the 10 shares from 3,03,921 to 3,03,930, that means he can he can give instruction to his broker that he wanted to sell this 10 shares whose distinctive number is 3,03,921 to 3,03,930. So this is called as distinctive number. But when these shares are in dematerialized form, at that time you cannot see the distinctive number on the computer screen. Now dematerialized form means what? When the shares of a company in physical form is converted into electronic form. This process is called as dematerialization. So in that form you cannot see the distinctive number. These distinctive numbers are required for identification. From this you can come to know from which number to which number you have purchased the shares. Next is evidence of title. Now whenever you are purchasing any share from the company gives you one document that is called as share certificate under its common seal. So this share certificate is a proof that this person have purchased this number of shares from the company, or this person is the owner of this number of share which are written in the share certificate. Now just now I have showed you one share certificate. In this it is written that this person, name of the shareholder is written here, and this person have purchased 50 shares and its distinctive number is also given. Okay, so this share certificate is a proof that this person is the owner of this number of shares. Okay, so evidence of title means what? It is a proof. Title means ownership right. Title means ownership right. This share certificate is a proof that the person whose name is written in the share certificate is the owner of the number of shares written in the share certificate. Now share is not any visible thing. You cannot show that these are the shares. It is shown by share certificate or in the form of demat account. Nowadays SEBI has made it compulsory that whenever if you wanted to purchase any shares, you must open demat account, and that in that demat account on the computer screen you can see the shares. Next point is value of a share. Now each share has value expressed in terms of money. Each share has value expressed in terms of money. Now there are three types of values of a share. First is face value, second is issued value, and third is market value. Face value means what? The basic value decided by the company for one share is called as face value of that particular share. This value is written on the share certificate and it is mentioned in the memorandum of association. Second is issued value. Issued value means it is the value, it is the price at which the company sells its shares. Now students, company can sell its shares at three values. First is at par, at premium or at discount. Now when the company is selling that shares at a value equal to the face value, it is called as shares issued at par. That means if the face value of share is rupees 10 and if company have sold that shares at rupees 10 only, that means you can say these shares are issued at par. When the company is selling its shares at a price more than the face value, then this situation is called as shares are issued at a premium. That means if the face value is rupees 10 and company have issued that shares at rupees 11, then this is called as issued at premium. Third is, if the company is selling its shares at a price less than the face value of a share, then this is called as issued at a discount. For example, 10 rupees shares are issued at rupees 9, then this is called as these shares are issued at a discount. Third value is market value of a share. Market value means what? The value which is determined by demand and supply forces in the share market is called as market value. That means if the demand for a particular share is increases, that means the price of also that particular share will increase. If the demand for a particular share will decrease, then at that time the price of that share also reduces. That is called as market value of a share. Next point is rights. A share confers certain rights to its holder, such as right to receive dividend, right to inspect books of accounts, right to attend shareholders meeting, right to vote at a meeting, etc., etc. So these are the rights which are attached to the shares. That means shareholder can enjoy all these rights which are attached to these shares. Next point is income. Now students, whenever you are investing your money anywhere, you are getting something in return. For example, if you are keeping your money in saving account of a bank, then also bank will give you interest. Same way, here also shareholder have invested their money in the shares, and that's why, and they have invested their money in the ownership capital of the company, and that's why they are getting a part of net profit. They are getting a share in the net profit, and whatever that share in the net profit they are getting, that is called as dividend. So in short, shareholders are getting dividend as a return on their investment. Next is transferability. Now the shares of public limited company are freely transferable, but they have to follow a procedure given in the articles of association. Now transfer means what? Sale. That means any person can sell their shares anytime to any person. Next is property of shareholder. Like how we are having property like our gold, silver, our piece of land, etc., etc. Same way, share is a property to the shareholder. It is a movable property of the shareholder. That means the shareholder can sell this property whenever he is in need of money, and he can get his money back. Last point is kinds of shares. Now there are two kinds of shares, that is equity shares and preference shares, and we are going to learn in detail about equity shares and preference shares in the next lecture. So students, these are the features of shares. Okay, understood? In the next lecture we will study about equity shares. Thank you.